Hi guys, Taryn here with Artshine. Today we're going to be working with foam clay or puffy clay, and it is so much fun to work with. I want to give you guys a few tips before we get started. So foam clay is a clay that is going to dry out and hold its shape. So you're going to want to be careful as we're working with it today that you don't unwrap all of your packages, leave them out in the air for too long, and then have it hold its shape not the way we want it to. So we're gonna unwrap packages as we go to make sure that our clay stays nice and malleable as we're working with it today. You're gonna find that your clay comes in a package and it has a Ziploc on the top. So if you have some extra pieces at the end, you can just tuck it inside that Ziploc, push the air out of it and reseal it, and it should hold the air out so that it doesn't dry if you wanna save it and work with the clay later. So I want to just chat with you guys quickly about the supplies that you should expect to have in your kit today. You're going to have 2 colors of metallic marker, a red and a gold. You're going to have a piece of canvas, as well as the puffy clay colors, and a Sharpie marker as well. So let's get our work area set up and get started. All right guys, so once you have your workstation set up, you're gonna get started. I want you to make sure that you have a little bit of water just for the end, for the background. We're gonna need it to do some blending. Today we're gonna be working with to create our phoenix, we're gonna be working with the yellow and the red puffy clay. The other colors we're not going to be using for this piece, but I would love for you guys to get creative once you see what we're working with today. Create your own design and send us some pictures when you're done. So we're gonna start by mixing colors. To create orange, we're gonna take about half of the yellow and we're gonna add about a quarter of the red to it. And we're gonna mix them together and just fold. And it's gonna create that in-between orange color. So we're gonna start off by creating the body of our phoenix. You're gonna take about a quarter of what's left of the clay and kind of work with it in your hands for a second. And we're gonna roll it into a ball shape. I often start with a ball shape and kind of work from there. We're gonna flatten that ball between our thumb and our pointer finger, and we're gonna turn it into an oval. So you're just gonna kind of gently pull on the puffy clay. And I want you to make it a little bit more narrow at one end and a little bit more narrow at the other. So we kind of have this like eyeball shape. And then we're gonna place that right in the center of our canvas. We're just gonna gently push it down. So once we have the body of our phoenix laid out, we're actually gonna lay out the wings next. So we're gonna take 2 small pieces of red. You're gonna roll those into snakes. And we're gonna do a lot of these snake shapes as we're building the phoenix wings. For your snake, you're gonna want it to be just a little bit narrower at one end. And we're gonna take that snake shape and we're gonna lay it against the body of the phoenix, and then we're gonna just stretch it up towards the edge of the canvas, and you're just gonna gently press it onto the canvas. Just gently push that second wing down. And then we're gonna leave that shape as it is, and we're gonna focus on the tail for a little while. So continuing to work with the red, we're just gonna roll some more snake shapes. Roll a ball, turn that ball into a snake by just rolling on a flat surface. And we're gonna roll the tip into a cinnamon bun shape. So you're gonna start at the end, and you're gonna roll it until we've got a little cinnamon bun at the end. And you're just going to attach that onto the end of the phoenix's body. And give it a little push onto the canvas. And we're gonna alternate now between the yellow and the orange as well, doing the same shapes. All right, guys, once you have the tail created, we're gonna use some of the orange. We're gonna roll a circle and we're gonna flatten it down into a cookie shape. And then just attach that to the base of the phoenix's tail. I'm gonna use a little bit of yellow. Roll that into a cookie. A little bit smaller this time, and place that in the center. And now the bottom of the phoenix is done. Let's go back to the wings. Snake shapes. And we're gonna attach those snake shapes underneath the line of the wing. So you're going to gently attach it. It's really just gonna mimic the shape to start, and then eventually we're gonna kind of sprawl them out different directions and alternating just like the tail between the three colors. At about the halfway mark, we're gonna start pointing our wings in the opposite direction. So the next one that I place is going to be a little bit straighter, and then I'm gonna start curving down. So now this one is gonna curve on a down angle. And we're going to bring the wings until the snake shapes touch the phoenix's body. Okay, there's one wing done, and we're going to switch over to the other side and do the exact same technique. All right, so our next step is to create the phoenix's head. And again, I'm going to start with a ball shape. I'm going to flatten that ball into a cookie, but as I'm doing that, I'm going to kind of turn it into a raindrop. So one end, the raindrop is going to be a bit narrower. I'm going to place here at the top with a little space in between and take a tiny bit of orange and create the lower part of the beak. Again, creating a teardrop shape, but this one is much smaller and more narrow. I'm just going to attach that on the underside of the beak. Our next step is to create the headdress that's going to be at the back of our phoenix. We're going to do that by creating more of our little teardrop shapes. These ones, again, being a little bit more narrow and long. And we're going to place them right at the top of the phoenix's head. And while we're in that mode, we're going to create some more of the exact same shape, and we're going to place those teardrop shapes down the front of the phoenix's body, creating a little bit of a feathery look. You're kind of going to let them taper off at the end. So go from 3 to 2 to 1. And that's going to be the front of the chest. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some of these flamey looking nodules that are on the wings of the phoenix. So we're going to start off by adding a couple of these flames onto each of the wings. I'm just going to add 2 because I'm running a little bit low on yellow here. Press it on. And then you're going to take your next color. So you're going to try to use all three, and because I have less yellow, that's the one I'm going to end with when I'm creating my flames. All right, so now we're going to add the finishing touches by just adding some of these flame shapes to the bottom. Our next step is to grab our little water container and our 2 colors of metallic marker, and we're going to create the background with this. I'm going to start off at the bottom using the reddish tone. It's kind of like a reddish pink tone, I would say. And you're going to color around your phoenix, the metallic marker. And then with the water, you're just going to dip the tip of your finger into the water, and you're just going to stipple the metallic marker, and it's going to give it kind of a watercolor look. So it's marker, but we're treating it like it's watercolor. And I like it to have kind of that dotty look to it. So I really, especially at the top, so I really get my finger in there to give it that stippled look. And then while it's still wet, we're gonna take the orange or the pink, and we're just gonna draw almost looks like coming out of the phoenix's mouth. That's it, you're done your phoenix. Hey guys, thanks again for creating with me today. I hope you enjoyed working with the foam clay as much as I did. Remember, you have those colors that you can get creative with at the end, and we would love to see the pieces that you create. Everyone tends to put their own spin on the piece at the end, and we love seeing the differences that come out. So feel free to send us your own creation with the remaining colors as well as your phoenix so that we can see it. You can check us out on social media, and we hope to see you again next month. Bye for now.